Viewpoints On episode 41. Took a little break. We'll explain that in the blog, so we'll just get right into it. A lot of TV we've been watching.
Right. The fall TV season has started. All the new premieres. Tim and I did a little count, and we have both...
Wait, could we just say this? Look at this that we've done. We are like on the back, too. And we made lists here. Very nerdy.
We watch a lot of TV. That's what we came
away
with.
Well, we both calculated, and we did it on our own. We both wrote down a list of every show we've seen in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The new series. And surprisingly, it both came out to 18, which is very weird.
Which is kind of funny, because there's shows that I watch that he doesn't watch, and it's vice versa, so it all works out. But let's get right into it.
Okay.
We're going to start with the good.
Yes.
What do you think are the good shows so far?
Well, the best show of the season so far, I think, is Castle. I'm digging it. Nathan Fillion and Stana Katic. We talked about it before on the show, so I think that's the best show. Dollhouse has really came back firing on all cylinders. That first episode.
Absolutely.
Amy Acker, deserves an Emmy. Fringe, I've been really digging Fringe.
I like this
I liked it because before they were kind of like wait for something to happen, and then they go out and investigate. Now they're like proactively going out and finding out things before a lot of people die, which they should have done before. I'm kind of digging Flash Forward. I know we talked about that. We saw it at D23.
Yeah.
So last night we caught the second episode, which kind of I thought had a better ending than the pilot did.
Yeah, the first episode has to set up that big story, and the second episode was really starting to get into the mythology.
Yeah, and then I really like House. I didn't really wasn't really digging the 2 hours in the mental institution, even though I do like Andre Braugher. I was telling you, I think if Andre Braugher was in everything, I'd be happy.
Just in every show.
Every movie, every show. He could even like be in music videos. Just if Andre Braugher was in everything.
He is good.
Yeah, so those are my picks for the best of the season so far.
Well, shockingly enough, we do agree on a few of those.
Yes,
First of all, I also think the best show so far, Castle.
And you were a late comer on to...
No, let me explain. I always knew I was going to love it. It just got lost in the busyness. Monday is a very busy night of TV. Yeah. I always knew I was going to love it because I love Nathan Fillion, so I had no doubt I would love the show. And once I finally got around to watching it, of course I did. And it's great. We're 2 episodes in, and it's really, the chemistry between Nathan Fillion and Stana Katic is so good.
Oh,
and then
great.
I also love the supporting cast because we got to see a little fun between him and the other detectives this week. So that show is just really hitting everything out of the park. My second show is Glee. I love it, love it, love it. Tim's leaving, so I'm just going to talk about Glee. It's seriously the most creative thing on TV since 24 came along. It's so spectacular. I love the musical numbers. The cast is talented. It's just, I can't wait every Wednesday for it to be on, and I love it.
Okay.
I've also got NCIS, which is just, you know, getting better and better. The ratings are getting better because the show is getting better. It's so spectacular. How I Met Your Mother. I love that. It's funnier than ever. You know, Neil Patrick Harris came off of hosting the Emmys. He did a great job, and the show has been lots of fun. And I agree with you that Dollhouse has been spectacular so far. So those are what we think, I guess, are the best.
Yeah. So in the category,
sort of
which
the in between,
not bad, but not necessarily the best either. You go ahead and start with yours.
I'm gonna say The Office. I love The Office. I think The Office can be, when it hits, the funniest thing on television. But the first couple episodes have been just sort of You know, Michael's always been sort of, you know, unself-aware and does his own thing. But the first couple of episodes have made him sort of unlikable, which is, you know, that's not good. And the other thing that you point out, it's starting to feel repetitive, which is also true. So I think The Office really needs to step it up. I've got high hopes, though, for the Jim and Pam wedding episode.
Can hope.
I've also got Community, starring the love of my life, Joel McHale. Love Joe McHale. See, and since I love Joe McHale so much, I'm desperate to love the show. But so far, I mean, I'm still going to give it like maybe a couple more tries because there's not really anything else for me to watch at that time anyways. Yeah. But I just feel like it needs to be funnier. Like, I need to be laughing out loud funny when I'm watching The Soup, you know. And so it's just that's not happening. I've got So You Think You Can Dance, which I love that show. It's one of my favorite reality shows, but so far none of the contestants have really like jumped out at me like, oh, that's the person I can't wait to see. And then I'm on the other side of Flash Forward where I need a little more. Like, I'm not feeling completely caught up into it where it's appointment television yet, but I'm still on board to give it a shot.
Okay. Well, I will agree with you with The Office. I do think it's repetitive.
Really?
No love in this place. I'll go really quick because I got a lot on this list. CSI Vegas. I liked the opening kind of, but there was a lot to it that kind of annoyed me, and it was like I nitpicked it a lot. So that's a problem I have with that. SVU, the same thing. I thought Wentworth Miller was great in it.
It was a bit predictable though.
And here's the thing: the problem I had with it. You know, cop goes kind of funny and kills someone, and you know, someone dies in the police headquarters. And then this last episode, another person, the main guest star, died in police headquarters. I'm like, wow, repetitive much?
Yeah.
The Law and Order, the regular, the mothership, as we should say.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little preachy this time. It was, torture in the Bush administration, and it was very preachy and heavy-handed. I only got through about half of it.
It's true, but you got to see some old-school Jack McCoy.
Yeah, but it was still a little heavy-handed. Bones, I'm still on the fence with Bones. I like the show a lot. I'm just waiting for it to kind of, You
haven't seen last night's episode yet. No. I'll tell you, last night got back to classic great Bones.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I watch it because they promise like this new twist where they're going to bring celebrities in, a different celebrity each week to kind of help. And it was the same thing. And the families are I agree. Yes, the firefighter lived in a really crappy house. He deserved thing, but it was like just because he was a firefighter. And I'm sure there's thousands of firefighters across the nation that probably earned or deserve something a little more. So that's just my and then Patricia Heaton did absolutely nothing. She was like, oh, what does this do? And like, oh, well, this does this. And like, okay, we've seen that before. Let's get to it. And then The Amazing Race. I liked it because they were in Tokyo, and that made me homesick a little.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of the same thing over and over again. Yes, they eliminated someone right away, so they're trying. But it is sort of the same thing. Like, I stopped watching Survivor because it was the same thing over and over again.
Okay.
In Ugly, let's go through these real fast.
Right.
These are sort of the rest, the worst of the rest. I'll just go through these really quick. Leno, not funny. Community, I gave it 2 episodes. I laughed. I chuckled once because it was an inside joke, so it was a part in the show that wasn't funny, but I thought it was funny because of something that happens around where, our world.
That's true.
Mercy, I blogged about it. Not funny. Not good. Michelle Trachtenberg's good, but that's about it. Trauma, I like the concept, but it just failed, and it left me kind of like, okay, oh, it's explosion. Ooh. Brothers, there's like a vacuum of funny where it sucked and blowed at the same. Oh, so not funny. And then Smallville, I'm gonna do like a giant blog about Smallville because. Oh my god.
We don't have time to list everything that's wrong with it.
Oh my god. It was painful to watch.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything Tim has on his bad list. Like, I had the same stuff on my list, Smallville and Jay Leno. And, the only thing I had that was extra was The Vampire Diaries, which I sort of stumbled across. And it literally made my head hurt to watch it. Like, it was so bad. And
I knew going in that Brothers was going to be bad, but I just wanted to see how bad it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I really took one for the team so she didn't have to see it.
So that's
she
pretty
owes
much
me like her firstborn or something.
I don't think so, because I watched The Vampire Diaries.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So we'll leave it out there. So check out the blog. We'll be blogging more. I'm sure these lists will change by the end of the season. So
I think so.
Yeah. So there you go.